Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft Season 11. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having a fantastic day. Today we are going to be building the mob farm, which is going to be a big project, but well worth it, because it will give us all of the gunpowder and bones and all of that kind of stuff that we need. So we're going to be building it in the giant hole that we dug last time. And because we have oodles of sandstone, we're going to build pretty much the entire thing out of sandstone, I think. It is going to be a single stack of platforms based on a design originally thought up by Nembon MC. I will link his video in the description, and then I will also link another video by someone named Potato Noir, who does a great job sort of modernizing the farm and also explaining not only what the changes being made are, but also why those changes are being made and how they work. If you're interested in the more sort of technical side of building farms and things like that, I highly recommend you give it a watch. It's well worth it. You might learn some things. But anyway, first thing we need to do, I think, is get the bottom platform where all the water is going to be, the sort of catching platform that will ultimately funnel all the mobs that fall into it down into the drop chute that will kill them. We got to build that first, and then build our 10 spawning platforms that the mobs are all going to spawn on. So let's get that knocked out real quick. Time for a progress update. We have all of the platforms in, as well as the water platform at the bottom. And also, I've gone ahead and put in the item collection system as well, kind of, sort of. So this is where all the chests will go. There's 9 of them, 1 for each of the various item drops. There's a water stream. We'll get to that in a moment. And then back here is the redstone with our item filters, just the classic impulse design that I've been using forever and ever and ever. But you can see it's all good to go. The only thing that needs to happen is we actually need to get items into the system, which will happen when we turn on the farm for the first time. But that's all connected up via a water stream to our killing platform, which is down here. And it's pretty simple. It is just a big magma block square that they fall onto. The fall damage should be enough to kill any mobs that don't have, like, feather falling boots, for example. It will kill witches in one go. So really the only mobs that it'll struggle with at all should be ones that have, like, feather falling or you know, the rare case like that. So shouldn't be a big deal. And then any of those that do survive will be finished off by the magma blocks. I would like to sleep, please. As far as the items themselves go, we are not using minecarts or anything like that. We just have trapdoors here. We just have waterlogged trapdoors here, and they are wired up to this redstone input. Right now I've got a lever, but this will be something automatic. So when this is triggered, it will lower the trapdoors, send out the water. That'll flush all of the items up against these fences and into this water stream, which ultimately leads to the item elevator down there, which carries it all up to our storage system to get sorted. So that's basically how it works. Oop, wrong one. No, not my shoulder. Oh, goodness. There we go. So this is all good to go. What still needs to happen is I need to actually get the redstone clocks wired up, both for the farm itself up here and for the item collection system, because what I want is I want to have one etho hopper clock up at the top that is going to control the dispensers in the farm. And then when the coast is clear, so to speak, when no mobs are going to be dropping down into the killing platform, I want to pulse the trapdoors to flush all the items. So it's all going to run off of one clock. I'm going to have to make a very large redstone torch tower going down, I think, but that's fine. And I'm going to have to figure out a couple of different delay circuits, because what I want to happen, since we're essentially dealing with dispensers here, I need a circuit that will generate a pulse and then generate another pulse about 5 seconds later. So that's kind of the plan. I'm going to tinker around with it and see if I can put my two whole brain cells together to come up with something. All right, with a little guidance from Tango, I do have all the redstone for the farm finished. So let me explain it real quick. It's pretty straightforward. We basically just have an etho hopper clock up here on top. This is to control the dispensers within the farm, which spit out water buckets, pushing all the mobs that are on the platforms down below. And the way that this works is, as I said, we have an etho hopper clock. It then splits into two separate signals. Now, on each of these, we have a pulse instead of a constant signal. So sticky piston with a block on top. I think that's called a monostable circuit. I'm not particularly good with redstone terminology. But either way, this becomes a quick one-tick pulse to trigger the dispensers. And then this one does the same thing, but on roughly a 5-second delay. So what happens is when the hopper clock triggers, we get our pulse, and then after that pulse happens, another one happens a little bit later to bring the water back into the dispensers. So that's the bit up top. Then down below, I was originally going to do a big torch tower to bring the redstone signal down from way up there and have this all running off of one clock, but I decided to change my mind on that and just set up a separate clock for the platform here, specifically to control these trapdoors. So the way that this one works is, once again, we have an etho hopper clock, but instead of taking our output from the redstone block, what we're doing instead is taking it off of this torch that I've placed right here on this block, and this will give us a pulse instead of a constant signal. And then what happens is it goes to a very slight pulse extender, so that the trapdoors are open just long enough for the water to fully flush all the items, and then they retract. And that's because trapdoors don't open and close. Like, if you give a trapdoor a pulse rather than a constant signal, it will open, but then as soon as the pulse is over, it will close again. So basically, we need these to be powered, or in this case, unpowered, for the entire time that we want the water flushing items. So that's basically how all that works. I have already done some AFKing at the farm, and it is working quite well. Now, it wouldn't work super well right now because there's a ton of other hermits online, and they're taking a significant portion of the mob cap. But we have mob drops for days. We are good to go. Everything is great. Now, some of you did point out in the comments of the last episode that when the next Minecraft update comes out, we're getting a new variant of skeletons. So just like with the whole reason we built this in the desert was because we want husks to essentially get rid of a bunch of the potential zombie spawns. Because basically in a desert, zombies mostly spawn as husks instead. And since husks need the sky, we can basically get rid of a ton of zombies. And when the new Minecraft update comes, we're going to get a new variant of skeletons that is basically husk skeletons. So it's going to essentially get rid of tons and tons of skeleton spawns within the farm, and we're not going to get nearly as many bones and arrows as we would right now. But honestly, that is okay, because I do need bones from the farm, but I don't need a stupid amount of them. So realistically, this is probably enough to last me like the entire season. And if I really need more, I can always either get them from the shopping district, assuming someone sets up a bone shop at some point, or I can build another farm, which I don't really want to do, but if it comes down to it, I will. So yeah, there we go. Mob Farm is up and running. Everything is working well. And we've got tons and tons of gunpowder and bones and all that kind of good stuff now. So now I need to build another farm. While I'm thinking about it, let me answer a couple other common questions that people have had. Some people have asked what this is. This is a mod called Journey Map. You can download it from Modrinth or anything like that. Basically just gives me a map. I've got it configured. Normally it gives you a little mini map kind of up in the corner, but I have that turned off so that basically I just hit a hotkey and I can pull up a map of the world. That's Journey Map. Also, I am using a mod called Mouse Tweaks, which is what lets me do stuff like this, where I can shift drag and do a couple other minor things. So that's Mouse Tweaks, another mod that I pretty much can't live without. And then lastly, a lot of people have asked what shaders I am using, and I am using complementary shaders. Is it under shader packs? Yeah, complementary shaders with various settings tweaked and stuff like that to make it a bit closer to vanilla. So yeah, there you go. A couple questions that have been frequently asked, answered. Now, in order to make the sugarcane farm, I'm going to need a fair amount of slime blocks. And I don't have a lot right now, but I can use the few that I do have to make these new splash potions of oozing, which basically you throw them at a mob, and then when that mob dies, they will spawn slimes. So if you can find a way to bunch up a whole bunch of mobs into like a hole, for example, or you can make a proper farm for this as well. Whoa. Nope, mistakes were made. These are just water bottles. I need nether wart first. There we go. But basically, if I can find a way to bunch up a whole bunch of mobs and then throw splash potions of oozing at them, I should be able to collect a decent amount of slime. But what also works is getting slime blocks from your friends. Etho logged on, and he apparently has actually set up a slime farm already. So we're going to get our slime from Etho, I think. Hello, Etho.
Hey, Wells.
How's it going?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good. Not too bad.
Ah, I hear you're in market for some slime.
It's true. I need a lawnmower blade.
Mm-hmm. Now, we could do this two ways. I could just hand it to you, or I can show you how to get it.
Sure, by all means. I'm interested in learning.
Okay. Yeah, I think I got everything we need. Just over the hill here. Right this way, my good sir. I was actually just watching your episode.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
The one about digging a hole?
You're just starting it.
Yeah.
I saw your wither disaster.
Oh, disaster. I don't know what you mean. That was completely according to plan. Nothing went wrong.
You know, more drama that way, right? All right. So this is what I've been doing, and it's been pretty good so far.
Okay.
Obviously, there's better ways of setting this up as well, if you want to put the time in. But what we do, we get the lays a little wet, and wait, do I have all the potions? Yes, we do. So throw one of these at the lathes.
Ah, this trick.
Mm-hmm. And it just takes a little bit of time to get them charged up. You know, get a couple silverfish going. Every time they take damage, there's I think a 10% chance they'll spawn one.
I see.
So it doesn't take too long.
And then once you've got a whole bunch of them, you throw a slime potion or whatever. The oozing, right?
Mm-hmm. It's probably ready already, actually, if you want to try it.
Gotcha.
Do you have Sleeping Edge?
I do. Very safe farm.
You got looting?
I do, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it.
Gotcha. That makes sense. What's the ingredient for the silverfish ones?
It's just stone.
It's just regular old stone?
Yeah, and then the slime is
slime
like
block,
slime
yeah.
cube.
I actually have a shulker box full of them. My plan until you logged on was to go into the nether and anger the pigmen.
Anger the pigmen.
Yeah, just make the pigmen mad, lead them into a hole using trapdoors while they try to come to you, and so they bunch up, and then throw a slime potion at them that way.
Oh, okay, you were gonna do it. Yeah.
Yep.
That works too.
That was my
Probably works on Enderman too, right?
actually, yeah, it probably would. I could maybe just do this in the Ender, although that would be very dangerous.
I mean, content, right? John?
I mean,
like the wither fight, right?
if I extend the railing on the Ender so that you couldn't get knocked off, then it might actually work. I don't hate the idea. You might even be able to modify the Enderman farm like temporarily to make it so that they wouldn't be able to escape the chamber.
Yeah.
Although it would make getting the items a bit harder.
I'm actually not sure if you can throw a potion at them, like an oozing potion. You can water bottles, so I would assume you could.
I couldn't think of any reason you couldn't. It's just a splash potion, right? I mean...
Well, they do teleport for projectiles.
Yeah, but the whole way the Enderman farm is designed, they can't teleport anywhere. Like, there are no valid teleport spaces because it's all double carpets.
Yeah.
So it should still work. I would think anyway. And science might be required, but
give it a go. It's something different.
it's not a bad idea. We're going to put the sugarcane farm in our industrial district, and the first thing that I need to do is I need to dig another hole. A 40 by 60 hole. Thankfully, it only needs to be 2 blocks deep, so this shouldn't take me too long. And I'm going to be building this farm. I think it's the same one that I built in Season 8? Don't quote me on that, but I think it was Season 8 that I last built this farm. Either way, it will give us all the sugarcane we could ever want, and then some. So, yeah, hole digging time. Progress has been made, my friends. This is probably the grindiest part of the Sugarcane Farm all finished. So, 40 by 60 box, as I think I said earlier, but we got all of the rails in place. These blocks here, there's a lever under each one of them to power the rails. Because I'm a little low on redstone. It's probably easier to just use redstone blocks, but that's also kind of the lazy solution. And early in the game like this, I don't have mountains of redstone lying around. So we got our rail lines in place. And then over here we have a simple minecart collection system. So basically the rails will go shooting out, they'll come back, and easy unloader station. It is... Oh, I just realized I forgot one thing. There is actually supposed to be a block right there on all of these. So we have like a little X shape. We have our hopper here that has the minecart track on top of it, the powered rail. Then there's a comparator, which is reading this hopper. And then the X shape is basically just blocks. There's a torch here, a torch here, a repeater going into this block, and then a repeater going into this block, although this part isn't actually necessary for the minecart unloading station. This is because I want an on-off switch for the entire farm. So this redstone line here will allow me to turn off everything. So yeah, that's basically it. Now what needs to happen is I need to go gather a ton of leaves. So I'm going to put my hoe to work. There is a forest kind of right there that I can get all the leaves I need from. And then also, I need to fill in where the sugarcane is going to go, and obviously fill in the sugarcane itself. So basically, the sugarcane plants are going to be right above the powered rails. Then there will be a channel right here where the water's going to go. So it'll be kind of like this, except I'm not going to use diorite, obviously. It'll be grass for basically all of it, and maybe leaves. But yeah, that's the next part of the plan. Another pretty grindy step. That iron farm has been working overtime because there's a lot of hoppers here. In fact, I forgot to mention, the way these hoppers are set up, it's each of these slices is identical. It just goes all the way down. But basically, there is a hopper here that feeds back into this hopper, which feeds down into a hopper belt, which will collect all of the drops from the entire farm and feed into a storage system. So this is not quite, I think it's like two stacks of hoppers. After a whole lot of grinding, the farm is finished, and I have given it a test run already. If the farm is fully grown, it will give us just under a double chest of sugarcane per harvest. So pretty fantastic. This is a farm designed by Nembon, as I said earlier. I have built it before, and it works super, super well. It's not super... It's very grindy to build, but it's not overly complicated outside of the flying machines. This stuff, if you're not familiar with flying machines, is a little complex, but it's not that many blocks. You can follow the tutorial pretty easily, and you'll be good to go. Over here, we have all of our unloading stations for the minecarts. These are all wired up, and then the whole entire farm is hooked up to a clock here, or a timer, that is set to roughly 20 minutes. This is a design by Ilmango. I will link, of course, as always, all of the relevant videos in the description if you want to do any of this stuff for yourself. But basically, this thing can be set to up to an hour between pulses, which is incredibly useful. I don't have it set. I don't have it set that long. There's a dropper right here facing up into the chest. I have it set essentially to 20 minutes. If this dropper is completely full of items, it will take, I think he said 62 minutes for the clock to complete a full cycle. Essentially, the way that this works is the clock is wired in such a way that this dropper will spit items into the chest, but then this hopper will suck them back into the dropper. And the dropper moves just a tiny bit faster than the hopper does. So it will take a very long time to get through these 3 stacks of items, but eventually it will, and that will then emit a redstone pulse, which will trigger the flying machines. So that way, this thing isn't just running nonstop constantly, because it can get a little bit laggy. It is a pretty big farm, and there's a lot of things happening. So I have it to run essentially every 20 minutes, but only when the farm is actually active, and the whole farm is wired up to this switch. Basically, there are 2 redstone lines coming off of this thing. One goes down this way and runs off to activate all the minecart all the hopper minecarts, so that the collection system is active. And then the other redstone line basically just runs over here and into this block, which turns on the timer that I was just talking about. So that's essentially how it all works. And then the hopper belts will feed into this system over here. There is a dropper. I don't know if you can see it, but it's buried down here. There's a dropper right... Oh, and there goes my redstone. There's a dropper right here facing upwards that the hoppers all feed into. I just ruined my redstone. It's fine. Let's see. Let me see if I remember how to do this. I think it's comparator there. Repeater here. Dust. There we go. And that will automatically dispense any items that are in the dropper, so that as items move in there, they will get sent up into the water streams to get sorted into the storage system. So that basically works, and that circuit is completely independent of the rest of the farm. So essentially, what that means is I can turn on the farm, I can let it harvest, and then I can turn off the farm, and the items will keep working their way through the collection system until we have tons and tons of sugarcane. So yeah, pretty fantastic. I need to sleep real quick, it looks like. And then we will give this thing a test run so I can show you how it works. Okay, so as I said, all you got to do to start the farm is turn on this lever. You'll see that fires all of those hopper mine carts. And then these flying machines will basically fly across, cut all the sugarcane down to size until they eventually hit this simple little return station right here, and then they'll turn around and go back the other way. And as they move, they'll knock some sugarcane into the channels this way, but anything that gets left over on top will get knocked into these channels where they can be picked up by the hopper minecarts on the way back. So the farm is pretty much lossless. And then once these lawnmower blades, so to speak, make their way back, they will stop right here and wait 20 minutes before they go off and do their thing again. It takes about 30 minutes on average for sugarcane to grow. But I figured 20 minutes is a good time. That way we'll catch any ones that are fully grown and probably get a little bit more yield. But yeah, that's the farm. It works great. It's fantastic. It's doing its thing. But that is all that we have time for today, my friends. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.